Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Szabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Lacey G.
And Amy's not here today. We miss you, Amy.
Miss you, Amy.
We miss you, Amy.
Thank
you,
hear
Amy.
It's weird because I feel like, every now and then, depending on our schedules, there's 4 of us. And so thankfully, sometimes, we can do some episodes when someone's traveling or has things to do or vice versa. But I know I've missed a few episodes. I know you've missed a few episodes.
I've missed several.
Has Amy ever missed an episode?
Well, there was one time, and the only reason that I remember this is because it was right after she named All Too Well the third song, and then she was missing from the next episode, and so someone made fun and was like, "Yeah, did you exile her?"
That's funny.
That's the only reason I remember that. But she's normally here.
That's probably
she's usually
part of it. I feel like in our 3 almost 4 year longevity, I feel like this is maybe the second time that Amy's missed. That's crazy.
Wow. She's a much better podcast co-host than all of us because she is on time, never tardy.
I know. Always prepared.
Yes,
and
extremely.
Always just an interesting point of view.
Always.
Mm-hmm. So we miss you, Amy.
Miss you.
We miss you, Amy. And today we are breaking down The Black Dog.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
the first track on the Anthology, the extended edition of Tortured Poets Department. It was written just by Taylor Swift, produced by Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. And, we got to go back and think about when we were listening to Tortured Poets Department for the first time. Okay, at 2 a.m. hit, we just listened to Clara Bow.
Yeah.
Wow. All of us were together. We're sitting on a live stream. Swifties around the world were just soaking in this wonderful piece of art we just listened to with the Tortured Poets Department.
And remember, we were really confused at that point before we got the rest of the anthology because we knew that there was a track called The Black Dog, right? Because it was one of the covers and variants that she revealed before the album came out. So when we saw the track list, we were like, where's The Black Dog, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember this, but were there hints about a double album at some point along the way, or was it a complete total
she
surprise?
had hints. She kept doing the twos over and over again throughout that era, that phase. So I think like most things, we maybe thought about it, but didn't want to disappoint ourselves if it wasn't it, right?
Yeah.
Well, and we knew that there was a timer going off or a countdown.
Yes, there was a timer on her website.
So we were waiting to see because we had the 3 a.m. tracks
Right,
from Midnights. Yeah, and so now we had the 2 a.m., so we didn't know if it was going to be additional tracks, if it was going to be a double album, if it was going to be
a book. We thought it was going to maybe be like a book of poetry.
Poetry, yes. Mm-hmm. I remember we were sitting on our live stream and we're looking at comments and stuff, just kind of wrapping up our night. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. We all have work in the morning. We're very tired. And I remember seeing some comments of people saying check her social media.
Yeah.
And we check social media and there's Taylor. She posted a picture of her with the Anthology album cover. She writes, surprise. She writes, it's a 2 a.m. surprise. The Tortured Poets Department is a secret double album. 2. She had the little peace sign. I'd written so much tortured poetry in the last 2 years and wanted to share it with you all. So here's a second installment of TTPD, the Anthology. 15 extra songs, and now the story isn't mine anymore. It's all yours, with a white heart.
Oh, my God.
And then we all flipped out. The world flips out, and we start listening to 15 more songs. And
what a thrill. And
it was incredible.
The Black Dog is top tier song, not just on Tortured Poets, but I feel like just discography-wise. This is an insanely good song. I mean, we'll get into it, like from the lyrics, from the build-up, from the emotion, just like everything about it. I remember I was taking notes in like a notebook when we were doing our live listening party, and not like extensive notes, but since we do our initial rankings, I would put like stars and hearts and stuff just to like tell myself which ones I liked. And the Black Dog, I think I like wrote it on a big, like all capital, underline, 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 underline. I was like, the Black Dog. This is so good.
It's a good song. And she almost didn't call it the Black Dog. She almost named it something else. Taylor Swift explains in a voice memo that she put out.
Hey, so this is called Old Habits Die Screaming.
Old Habits Die Screaming.
Yeah.
Would be a great name.
Would be, yeah. I mean, it's a lyric in the song.
Yeah.
So it would definitely make sense. I wonder what made her change it.
I don't know. But I do need to have some clarification on something. In the future, we're definitely going to be updating our list of best track ones.
Yes.
Does this count as a track one since it's the first track of the anthology? Like it's a second album, or is this just the 17th song?
I think we would have to, because if we're going to be ranking, she doesn't have that many songs. We don't have 31 songs on another so then what's your favorite
track 25?
Yeah, what's your favorite 31st song of Taylor Swift's?
True.
Yeah.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
And we have talked about like, you know, what would be the track 5 of the anthology? Like we have talked about that. Like would we rank that? And when we do track 5s again? At some point, because we've had a couple. We've had a couple new track 5 since our last track 5.
Yeah,
Anyways.
and a 10-minute version of All Too Well.
Yeah. We'll get there at some point. small steps. We'll get there. But yeah, the Black Dog, it really kicks off this extended edition of the Torture Post Department. Just a wonderful thing, and man, just talking about catching them. She caught it. Fellas, you got to know you're dating an FBI agent. You have to know that ladies will find out, right? They will.
Yeah. Or is she fantasizing?
Oh, I didn't.
As well, because she's imagining something happening while she's not there. So did she actually catch someone cheating on her through this way, or did they forget to turn off their location so she could still peek and see that they're in a familiar place that they used to, and then this is what she imagines in her head? And there's also a question of if this song relates to Hits Different, because in Hits Different she's also talking about playing our song in a bar. She gets sick thinking about them being with someone else, and is this the same instance but a different version of that?
Yeah, I would agree. I always envision it as being like she is looking at this person she's no longer with because they forgot to turn their location off, right? And the old habit being like to check in on them. And so like you kind of still fall into that. And like, I mean, I feel like, you know, we're all guilty of that, of like stalking your ex on social media. And I feel like Lacey was saying, it's like she's not there, but she's kind of imagining what's happening there when she's not there. And I feel like she kind of explores that throughout the album. I feel like it's kind of similar to like Chloe, Sam, Sophia, or Marcus. I look in people's windows. You know, like we've talked a lot about how this album as a whole just is a look into like her brain. And so I feel like it's kind of like a more visual look into what she is thinking about. And, you know, like you do think that, like if you do see like your ex, like, you know, if you were to see their location, like you can only imagine what's happening there because you're not there. So you don't know. So you think the worst, right? Oh my God, he's there. He's moving on. There's another girl there. She's younger than me, like whatever. But yeah, I do think it's like kind of this hypothetical, anxiety inducing fever dream almost.
Man, y'all are so smart. I was just looking at the first couple lines thinking, oh yeah.
I would
She's
like
with
to
someone
say
and he's cheating.
I don't stalk my exes, boy bye. But I do stalk my friends' locations.
Yeah.
I love to know where my friends are. It's almost like a safety for me. I need to see, are you at home? Are you out? If you are out, I might meet you out. If not, and like I would tell them, I'm not just showing up randomly, but also you trust me if I have your location as well.
For me, it's a safety thing backwards. Like I purposefully share my location with a lot of friends so that someone at all times knows where I am. Of course, out of like the fear of like getting kidnapped, but also the fear of getting lost. I'm just like terrible with directions. And recently I was in Austin for a wedding and we were staying at like a hotel, like a Marriott, where there's like so many of them. And we went out to drink and stuff, and I was really cold, and I walked ahead of everyone else because I really wanted to go back to the hotel because I was freezing walking. So I was like, okay, my group will meet me there. I'll keep walking. I went to the wrong hotel. You know what I mean? Like, and that just like, thank God every single person that was there in Austin with me had my location, and they were like, you're at the wrong place. And I was like, oh, I was just waiting for you guys here. They were like, did you not realize it was a different hotel? I was like, no. But I think I have maybe 15 friends that have my location.
Wow.
Same. I have a fair amount, and I have theirs as well. But then also as a single girl, I want someone to know my location, and I make my single girlfriends share their location with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe my wife has mine, and that's about it. Yeah. I think she has mine. I don't even know if she does.
Yeah.
I went to a Taylor Swift birthday party with my friend, Christy, who got the Mine tattoo a while back. And we were out with her new boy, and she was like, I'm the first person Lacey ever shared her location with. And I was like, that is so cute. No, you're not. I should have just let her have it. But I was like, nope, I am a location slut. A lot of my friends have it.
Yeah, same. I think you have my location. And I'm pretty sure I have yours. Yeah, because, so we both went to the Black Dog. I guess we can kind of backtrack to the Black Dog. The overall assumption is that it's about, or referencing the Black Dog, which is the bar, pub in London, right? They themselves have really, like, fed into the Swiftie madness of it all, which, like, why wouldn't you? And when Lacey went to the London shows over the summer and you went to the Black Dog, I was looking at your location. I was like, let me know when you go, because I wanted to, like, actually watch your little blue dot go into the Black Dog. It's, like, such, like, a really specific Swiftie experience to watch your friend's location as we're going into the Black Dog. And I'm so mad because I went over the summer as well after I went to the show in Dublin, and I got myself a hat, the Black Dog hat, and I meant to wear it today, and I forgot.
Aw.
That's on me. That's on me.
Nick also has a Black Dog hat, and he didn't wear it today. So.
Oh, I didn't. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
And now that we're talking about it, I think I forgot to Venmo you, Lacey. So tell me how much I owe you for that hat.
No, don't.
Because I completely forgot about that until now. So I owe you.
No.
Just make sure it's in dollars, not in pounds.
No, sir.
But also the Black Dog, there's actually multiple Black Dog pub bar locations. The Black Dog, I mean, the one in London, I feel like maybe they're the ones that are feeding into it the most because they are in London. There's also a Black Dog pub in Budapest, which is, you know, I feel like this is one of those songs where there could be more than one muse or inspiration behind it. The Black Dog pub is a pub in Budapest where Joe Alwyn was filming a movie. The Black Dog is also a bar in Cork, Ireland. The 1975 played a show there, summer of 2023. And then you have the Black Dog, which is the actual pub in London itself. And then you have the meaning of the Black Dog, the metaphorical description of depression.
Major depression.
So there's a lot of layers to this, which is fascinating.
And I've always said that Taylor Swift is a Harry Potter fan.
Yes, you're so right.
The Black Dog is in the Harry Potter books. I'm currently reading those with my son right now.
Oh, my God.
And so in The Prisoner of Azkaban, when he goes to Professor Trelawney's class up in the tower, she's always predicting bad things about Harry, and she turns over the tea leaves and she sees the Black Dog, which is the sign of the Grim, which means death.
Yes, I read that.
How
That's
fitting.
part of British folklore.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I've got more about the bars as well, but let's get into the lyrics, and I'll touch on that once we get to the line.
You know, we've proved time and time again that y'all are much smarter than me at interpreting these songs. I didn't know that this was also a place, like you said, where the 1975 played a show in this area in 2023. So could this be about him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
the gist? Because I've always just assumed it's about Joe. Because, there's a Black Dog in London. But maybe it's not.
I don't know. I feel like could it be
both?
It could be both. I feel like it is an experience of, I mean, I feel like the song itself is exploring this feeling of, like, just that heartbreaking realization of a person that you had a relationship with, a loving relationship with one day, the next day that you just don't have that, but you're still kind of keeping tabs.
Yeah.
I think that kind of that can happen in multiple times, you know, and I don't know, like kind of like how we were saying, like I feel like it's a look into like her mind and like her anxieties behind it. So there's different angles that you could take, but this was a period of time where I think, like she was saying, she wrote so much tortured poetry, where I think she just had so much inspiration emotionally that it kind of just, I don't know. Sometimes when people ask me like, "Oh, is this song about Joe or is it about Maddie?" Or whatever, I always say it depends on who you ask. Like, just depends on how you listen to it.
I often thought this was an inspiration of her 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn. After doing more of a deep dive, there are references to her relationship with Maddie. But what I thought was super interesting and odd, Maddie was around the Black Dog in Cork, Ireland, about the time that she was writing. It kind of goes in line with that. Well, after the Tortured Poets Department was released on April 19th, the Black Dog Cork posted on April 29th of this year. How odd is that? On their marquee outside, they posted Team Maddie.
Oh.
Wow.
On April 29th.
Okay, so then we're not visiting there.
Yeah, not going to that one.
No, not supporting that.
You know where I'm not going to be on April 29th? That
Cork,
location,
Ireland?
Cork, Ireland, the Black Dog. Not going to be there.
I don't like that. Did the holiday season mess with your routine? Are you looking to take charge of your life with full mental clarity this new year? Enhance your sober January and embrace CBD Awareness Month with Via to experience the powerful benefits of hemp without the high. Unlock the power of nature with Via's organic and vegan hemp extracts, perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. Via is the only lifestyle hemp brand. They use compounds found in hemp along with the active plant extracts to create products each with a specific effect in mind. Whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, they have something for you. And if you go over to their website, you can shop by gummies, vapes, flour, whatever it is that you're looking for. Lately, some of my personal favorites have been the Cloud9 and the Dream Sleep gummies. So if you're over 21, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code SwiftFanPod to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, you can get a free gift of your choice. And then after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. So please support our podcast and let them know that we sent you. This year, enhance your everyday with Via.
All right, let's get into these lyrics. And we are, again, guys, this is the Tortured Poets Department. She is sad when she sings this song. She feels tortured when she's singing this song. You can hear it in the way she breathes.
Definitely.
And it's just like, it's just such a, you can tell she's in such a bad, dark mood.
It's very raw.
Yes.
I feel like it's very raw in emotion. I feel like it kind of goes from sad to despair to desperation to anger.
She's wallowing in it.
To anger, and then she's mad to just ultimately giving up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we go through all of that in the span of 3 minutes.
And how breathy she is in this kind of makes me think about her sobbing. Like she's trying to get it out. Yeah. In between breaths and crying.
Yeah.
So she starts off in the song. She says, I am someone who until recent events you shared your secrets with and your location. You forgot to turn it off.
I love just the cadence of how she sings this because she doesn't like stop where the sentence stops.
Yes.
You know?
Even reading it just now, I'm like, ooh, this feels
It's
weird.
just,
That's not how she sings it.
It feels wrong. Yeah. Like, yeah. So that I think that's also really cool. I think it's a fascinating way to hear the lines because they're kind of breaking up at unexpected moments, which could also be a reflection of the relationship itself, whichever the inspiration came from. You know, if it was just kind of like on off, breaking, not breaking, just rocky.
Is checking an ex's location kind of the 2024 version of driving by someone's house?
Yeah, I would say so.
You're checking to see if they're there, who's there. Got to go see them.
Yeah.
You're curious.
It's like one step further than just stalking them on social media.
Sure.
Also, lesson learned, if someone does not share their location with you, you might want to be suspicious.
Ah.
Oh, like a partner, like an actual partner?
Mm-hmm.
And so I watch as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog.
All right, let's get into it. The Black Dog. So, the Black Dog, everyone assumed it was the Black Dog in London, where Anna and I have been. And the pub owner talked about the immediate impact. This is the day after the Black Dog or the anthology was released. And this is what the pub owner had to say.
I've never heard a note by Taylor Swift, but this pub has become famous because of her, as of yesterday. So we are in Kennington, and it's called the Black Dog. And again, I'm not a Swiftian, or whatever it's called, but if you look in the bar over here, they mention on the wall here Taylor's version. And that's because she released her album yesterday, for those who don't know. And she mentioned this pub in it. She said she saw one of her exes enter it, tracking him on some app or whatever, and became obsessed by him and fell in love with him. Or anyway, I know I've spoiled it all, but this is the Taylor Swift pub that's now became famous because of her latest album, Tortured Poets Society. Tell me, if I'm not a fan, what is the first album of hers I should listen to? And anyway, that's it. This is the Taylor Swift pub.
But an immediate impact, and it has changed this bar for the rest of history. It's now jam-packed with Swifties. They have lyrics up on the wall. It's just a cool place to go to, and you know that you're going to be amongst friends there because it's all Swifties all the time.
I wonder if the owner and the staff have gotten annoyed by a lot of Swifties showing up. Like, are Swifties the vibe of this place? Like, that bar owner sounds like he takes himself really seriously, and maybe Swifties aren't the vibe of the bar. So, like, I wonder if they're. I mean, surely the owner loves it because he can keep the doors open a lot longer. But I wonder their feelings on it being such a big success.
Yeah, I'm sure the owner selfishly loves it no matter what.
Right.
When I was there, there were a lot of Swifties there. I mean, I'm sure it was different because when Lacey was there, it was the actual like London shows. Ryan and I went to London after we went to the Eras tour in Ireland, so there were a lot of Swifties in London, but probably not as much as when the actual shows were going on. But anyway, when we were there, it seemed like the type of place where locals go to grab a drink after work. Like, it wasn't like I mean, they described it more as like a pub casual. You go and like grab a drink. I don't think it's the type of place where you go and get like blackout drunk or anything like that, you know? But
it was kind of far away too. It was kind of, at least that was an area I wasn't in at all, other than to go to the Black Dog.
Right. Like, it's not in like a high touristy area. Mm-hmm. And when Ryan and I were having dinner there, we were kind of looking around also, just being like, can you identify who is a Swift, like who's here because of they're a Swiftie and who's here because they live nearby or just got off work or whatever. And it was pretty obvious on, like, you know, the family that was dragged there because of the Swiftie in the family or stuff, or like the groups of friends that were just like meeting up there because it was like a random Wednesday.
What did you guys have to eat and drink at the Black Dog?
I think I had some fish tacos, maybe. I can't really remember. It was good. I know whatever I had was good.
Yeah, I had a burger, and it was pretty good, I think. And a beer, of course.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to get like I keep like a glass, like a pint glass, but I didn't know how I would travel with that, so I got the hat as a souvenir. But they were also selling like tote bags and friendship bracelets.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cute.
Now, another one of the pub owners did an interview and did allude to it being a certain someone's favorite bar.
The Black Dog has gone from Vauxhall to global. The speculation has been as to which one of Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriends frequents your pub. Do we know if Taylor's been in? Have you checked the CCTV?
I have to say we have, but, you know, I don't want to give too much away. We do have a certain blonde regular who frequents, let's just say that.
Oh, I like that. There you go. That's a good tease for all the Swifties to flock down.
So just imagine, we had always assumed this was Joe's bar. And now she's calling out Joe's bar. And Brock Lee, Taylor's version on TikTok, pointed out exactly how boss of a move this is.
The subtlety and power in this line right here. And your location, you forgot to turn it off, so I watch you walk into some bar called the Black Dog. We're led to believe this is a bar that Joe frequents. A bar that has now reached max capacity every single night since the debut of the album. A bar that now Joe cannot go to. To write an FU love song, that's checkers. But to take away a man's favorite bar, that's chess. That's some mastermind stuff.
That's pretty
Yes.
great.
That's
That's
so
great.
smart.
That's really
You
great.
can't find peace anywhere.
Yeah, and I saw this person on Reddit, Requirement General 67, said, speaking as an Englishman, I can confirm one of the worst things you could do is effectively block us from our regular pub. But Joe Alwyn has since done interviews, and he was talking with the Sunday Times, and someone asked, what kind of fun things do you like to do? And he said it's probably looks similar to yours or anyone, seeing friends, traveling, going to the pub. And then he added, can I make a more boring list? Yeah, you boring. But then he was asked if his favorite pub was the Black Dog in London. And he said he's never been there before. So he said, I've never been Vauxhall, I guess is how you pronounce it. But the publication noted that when he answered, he was, quote, smiling a smile that hints that there is more to say.
Mm-hmm.
So has he not been to that bar? Is he just not going to admit it now because he doesn't want to admit that he's been defeated? I don't know.
Yeah, of course he wouldn't admit that.
Yeah. Yep. It was my
Yep,
favorite
that's
bar.
true.
You got me.
That was it. I did used
Yeah,
to love
he's-
going there. That he would never.
No, he's just trying to end that
That
question and
conversation.
answer as quickly and move on.
He wouldn't even tell us his favorite Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure now is the Black Dog.
So I watched you walk into some bar called the Black Dog and pierce new holes in my heart, and you forgot to turn it off.
I do love that she repeats that line. You forgot to turn it off. Because
Mm-hmm.
the first time she's referring to the location sharing, but the second time I feel like she's referring to her heart. Like you forgot to turn it off. Like you forgot that what you do still affects me. You know?
And it hits me. I just don't understand how you don't miss me in the Black Dog when someone plays the starting line.
Okay. I had heard initially, I didn't realize that the starting line was a band. So I thought the starting line of a song. And somewhere on TikTok, I heard like Africa Toto was a song of her and Joe's. And so they had imagined that this is what started in that bar. And he's getting the rain down in Africa and getting all excited about it. But he's with some young girl and she doesn't know. But the starting line is a band that Maddie Healy likes and has covered.
Oh.
And from their popular song, which I didn't write down the name of it, but essentially it's talking about the worst is over. You can have the best of me. We got older, but we're still young. We never grew out of this feeling that we won't give up. So it's about this love that you weren't able to have, but it never went away. And here we lay again on two separate beds, writing phone lines, drawing pictures from memories, missing each other. And then skipping ahead a little bit, it says, the next time I'm in town, we will kiss, girl. We will kiss, girl. So the 1975 covered this song in April and in May of 2023. And this was just days before Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy were first seen holding hands. The Best of Me, that's the name of the song, about two lovers who spent time apart, whatever. Well, Matt covered this song on 5-3, and that's where he said, this is about you. You know who you are. You know I love you.
I remember
I
him-
needed a trigger warning.
Like he said that into the camera and you could see it on the screens in his concert.
He's like mouthing it.
Yes.
Well, then he immediately flew to where Taylor was performing on the Eras tour, and he was in the audience for that performance. And on 5-5, she mouthed the very same thing before performing Cardigan.
Yes.
And that's the show where she said she's the happiest she's ever been. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So here I go again thinking it's about one person, and now, the song's about someone else.
I think that's kind of the point, though.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure. When someone plays the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song.
So Maddie Healy, just in this instance, he after Taylor, he dated a 24-year-old, and now I want to say his fiance is 26. So the likelihood of them knowing a song from 2002, probably not. That's probably nothing that they were listening to. So that's just a little jab there.
Which I also think just in general, the idea, I mean, Taylor is already in this industry, in this climate where, God forbid, a woman age. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So she's already told us plenty of time and time again about, like, you know, this industry that ages women out very, very, very quickly. So in this moment of high anxiety where she sees that her ex is out somewhere without her and she's imagining what's the worst possible thing that could be happening, he's probably with a pretty young thing. You know, someone younger than me who doesn't even understand his favorite music. Like, you know, I think that there's also just that underlying frustration behind it, specific or not, to the fact that he did date someone younger after her, which is annoying because it feels like all of her exes tend to do that. But there is also just like that annoyance as like for Taylor, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's been a threat or maybe a joke with men in the past that like, oh, I'm going to trade you in for a younger model.
Right. Like it's just
yeah,
frustrating and dumb.
And you jump up, but she's too young to know this song. That was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming.
Our dreaming. That's how she is describing a relationship that was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. Old habits die screaming.
Screaming.
I move through the world with the heart broken. My longings stay unspoken, and I may never open up the way I did for you. Ooh, that hurts.
And this is interesting because I always thought it was I move through the world like with my heart broken, like with the heart, like my personal heart broken, but reading it as the world with the heart broken, like it's kind of like she's moving through alongside other brokenhearted people. Right?
Mm-hmm. I like that. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And I may never open up the way I did for you. Earlier, she's talking about you shared all your secrets with. Mm-hmm. So you know me better than anyone else. Will I ever even open up the way I did for you?
Yes.
I know it's easy to think this, but it's so vulnerable to share your secrets with somebody, especially for the first time or something like that. But to share your deep feelings and emotions, to share those with someone, that's a hard thing to do. You trust someone that much.
Yeah.
And now you know that they're out there living their life with your secrets.
Right.
Like that has to hurt. That has to be hard.
Especially with someone of the status of Taylor Swift.
Sure.
You
There's
know what
a lot
I mean?
of secrets that she has.
I'm sure she has a lot of just really personal information that, like, to think that somebody that you absolutely opened your heart to think that maybe one day they'll use that against you, like that, oh my God, that would hurt so bad.
And she's hurting so much that she may never open up like that again.
Right, 'cause she's like, why would I risk that again? And then to backtrack to my longings stay unspoken, that just mirrors the lyric in Guilty as Sin where she says, I keep these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault.
In all of those best laid plans, you say I need a brave man, and then proceed to play him until I believed it too, and it kills me.
It was all fake.
It was a charade.
It was a lie. It was the coward who claimed he was a lion.
Yeah,
you know?
This person said, I know what you need. I'm going to be that for you. And then in the end, they weren't.
I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Proceeded to play him.
Yeah, which like also just kind of goes back to other lyrics that we've heard in, like, you know, Smallest Man, like, oh, you know, you kick the stage lights, but you're still performing. Like, you're just playing this character. Who are you really? You know?
And also, as a guy, you definitely want to hear your girl say that you're brave. And to say that she now thinks you're not brave, that you were just pretending to be that, ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts as a guy to hear that.
Well, and you want to be safe. And you're not safe with this fake coward.
Right.
That you were vulnerable and opened up to. And it kills me. I just don't understand.
How you don't miss me in the
shower and remember how my rain-soaked body was shaking.
Okay. You hate me. Oh my God, it's just so good.
Okay, so Gillette Stadium is where Taylor Swift had a rain show, and it was really cold. Maddie Healy was there. She sang Question, making some people wonder if that song was actually inspired by him. But then the next line, do you hate me? Like, that's so much insecurity and attachment issues when you're just constantly paranoid. Like, did I do something wrong? Do you hate me? That you're needing approval from somebody. But my rain-soaked body was shaking.
Yeah.
Do you hate me?
Which I also think is really telling because throughout Taylor's career, she has romanticized rain. You know, kissing in the rain, running after somebody in the rain, playing shows in the rain. But like in this context, it's sad. Like my rain-soaked body was shaking. Like it's just, I don't know. It just looking at the longevity of how often she's romanticized rain for now to be like more of a heartbreaking illusion. It's just sad.
And, you know, this next line, was it hazing for a cruel fraternity? You know, I think just when it comes to emotions and stuff, I don't think guys know what their actions can do to a female. And it's just like, you know, guys can be cruel, they can be blunt, but it can just be, it's just so hurtful, the things that they're doing. So a guy might just be saying like, okay, I'm just going to move on. And they're not really thinking about that. But a girl, they're thinking like, is this a joke? She's saying, is this a joke that you just played for me?
Yeah.
Was this hazing? Or like, are you just toying with my emotions right now and just being so flippant with this relationship?
And to make it even worse, was it hazing for a crew fraternity I pledged? Meaning like it was something that I wanted to be a part of.
She was in for it.
Right.
Whatever these, you know, hard times, quote unquote, they're going through, I'm going to stick through it because I care about you.
Yeah, like
I
want to be a part of this, but you're just treating me like shit.
Yeah, I pledged and I still mean it.
Yeah.
Old habits die screaming. So even through all this trauma that she's going through, she still means it.
Yeah.
She still cares about him.
Yeah.
If he called her right now, she'd probably pack up and go, fly to meet him wherever he is because she still means it. She wants to be with him.
Right.
Then we get to the bridge.
Where it kind of like slows down for a second.
She says, 6 weeks of breathing clean air. Okay, that's a time frame. Do we know what she's referring to during this 6 weeks? Is that a 6 week long relationship? 6 weeks
I think to me
since something happened?
To me it's 6 weeks since something happened. Like
okay, she's
6
breathing
weeks
the
of breathing clean air. Because when you match it with the next line, I still miss the smoke, the relationship being the smoke. It's been 6 weeks since. I did see someone point out, and I would have to fact check this, but I saw someone point out that I guess under the estimated timeline that we know of as far as Joe and Taylor's relationship ending, 6 weeks-ish after that ended, his like co-star like posted a picture of him on like social media or something, which could have also been, I don't want to say like a trigger, that's not the right word, but like 6 weeks, you know, after the breakup, you see a picture of your ex online and you start kind of mentally spiraling of like, okay, are they doing better without me? Which also could have inspired some of the writing behind this song.
And it's also giving clean vibes that I'm finally clean now that I have your stink off of me.
So I remember Joe did an interview with some YouTube channel. I don't remember what it was, but he was talking about his 10 essentials that he never leaves home without, and he says that he collects lighters.
Oh, yeah.
He says that he doesn't smoke, but he collects lighters. So that line can't be about him. I still miss the smoke. Unless she's referring to smoke as to describe something else.
I mean, it could also be like the smoke and mirrors.
Sure. The games, miss the games going on.
She's burning down the lover house. So that could be a kind of smoke that haunts her. Also, London, there was the Great Smog of London. So London's thought to be like a smoky, hazy city.
Yeah.
So that could also be it. Maybe the smoke she's referring to is now that she's out of the lavender haze. The lavender haze was all.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
imagery. It could also just be the smoke as in like something that's just not good for you, but I still miss it.
Were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke?
What's that mean? I just Googled it. Esoteric. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest.
Right. So I think she's kind of saying like, were you making fun of me with a joke that I don't understand?
Right. Okay.
And
some other inside joke that I don't get.
Like, yeah, like you were making fun of me behind my back thinking I wouldn't see it. And I know you're making fun of me, but I just don't understand what the punchline is, but I know it's me, if that makes sense.
And it's the opposite of in her song Lover, save all the dirtiest jokes for me. Now I am the joke.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, the king of my heart is now just a joker dressing up like a king.
There was also a picture, the picture that I was referring to earlier that Joe's co-star posted of him 6-ish weeks after the breakup, give or take. It was like a picture of Joe, and it could be a coincidence, but it was a picture of him like on the streets with like an electric scooter. So people were like, oh.
I remember that.
A scooter.
Scooter.
Is that
Joe,
like a jab? Is that, you know what I mean? So it could be like, you know, were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke? Like that could be applied there. But that also could have just been a coincidence.
He could have just been having a scooter that there are millions of.
There's so
in
many.
big cities.
It's an easy way to get around. So I don't want to say that for fact.
Absolutely.
But upon research of the lyrics of this song, that picture tends to come up quite a lot.
Now I want to sell my house and set fire to all my clothes and hire a priest to come in and exorcise my demons. Even if I die screaming. And I hope you hear it.
And I hope you hear it. Okay, so let's reflect some back on that. Well, exorcise my demons. In Cornelia Street, she was doing Sacred New Beginnings, that's becoming my religion. Also, false god. So now she's getting rid of those demons that she once had. She thought her relationship was her religion, and now she realizes it's not. So she needs to rid her body of it. So in that bridge, she had the smoke, the esoteric joke, and exorcise my demons. Well, she does get 2 of those back in So High School. Oh, smoking and jokes. That's what it is. Smoking and jokes. Those are the 2 that she got back from she got back in So High School. So she is building herself back up, back to smoking, joking, having a good time with her current beau.
And it is crazy here how she's so hurt by this relationship being over and how she's treated that she just wants to completely sell her house, or she wants to burn this house down.
Burn down the Lover house.
She's just, this is where you're saying how her emotions are now transitioning to other feelings, how she's so done with it. She's going to burn it all down and walk away.
She's like, I just want to set fire to it, burn it, and if I die, I hope you hear it. Yeah. That's the next part too. Like if I die screaming, I hope you hear it. Like that's like, she's going full anger emotion in this, and there's a lot of growth also, I feel like in this, because there's other songs where she is feeling this like sadness and despair, and that's kind of like the entirety of the song, but I feel like there's so many different ranges of emotions in this, and as it's building, like the music is building, the desperation is building, the anger is building, and then it's just so therapeutic to scream, I hope it's shitty in the black
That's
dog.
right. Now she's
you
angry.
know, and she's like, you know what, it's not that I just hope that you think of me when you're there, or that you can never go there again because I'm writing this song. I hope it's shitty every time you're there.
I hope they get your drink wrong.
Yeah.
I hope there's a really long line and you can't get a table.
Yeah, and I hope the bathroom's broken.
Yeah, I hope the men's bathroom floors are really gross and sticky. That's what I hope.
Yeah, and I hope you get a paper cut.
And it's just full circle from Taylor Swift, who in Last Kiss says, I hope it's nice where you are.
Right, yeah, fuck
and
that.
now she's been lifed on enough that she has changed her opinion, and I hope it's shitty in the black dog.
Yeah, like I hope it's shitty when you hear somebody play the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know it. I hope that's a shitty feeling to understand.
I hope that makes you feel really old.
Right.
I hope that makes you feel insignificant.
And your knee hurts.
My
knee hurts.
That was intertwined in the tragic fabric of our dreaming, because between your legs,
tail
between your legs, you're leaving.
Oh, they're like the imagery in that, like tied in with just the black dog in general, coward.
And starting off the song, intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. And now it's tragic fabric of our dreaming. Because tail between your legs, you dirty, dirty dog, now you're leaving.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it because old habits die screaming. So
that's how she's like. That's how she says it.
Maybe that's when she just gives up.
That's
the
what I'm
last
saying.
breath that she's having for this relationship.
She's been screaming so much into the void.
Yeah.
Because old habits die scream. And she doesn't really finish the word.
She does the opposite.
Well, in Black Dog folklore, it is said, if you meet the black dog once, it shall be for joy. If twice, it shall be for sorrow. And the third time shall bring death. She says black dog 3 times in this song. So after the last black dog, the habit is dead. That's why she doesn't finish the word.
Yeah. And she's probably just so... How much can I just scream how hurt I am before you finally get it and I lose my voice trying?
And the black dog in lots of literature is a trusty, loyal dog. So she's been trusting and loyal and devoted, and she's loyal to a fault. It's hurt her and has continued to hurt her. Also, Led Zeppelin has a song, Black Dog, that's about wanting to find a loyal woman. And just odd and interesting to note, there is a Black Dog Institute in Australia, and it's a place to go to focus on mental health. And guess what their logo is?
A black dog?
It is a peace sign or two, which is what Taylor has been throwing up this whole era. And the shadow from the 2 fingers holding up looks like a dog in the back.
I remember we looked at that when we got the track list.
Isn't that just interesting?
Yeah. There's a lot of layers.
Taylor, how much work are you doing on these songs, girl? This is so deep.
I'm dying to see Taylor Swift's Google history when she's in the middle of writing a song.
Just wow.
Her Google history.
Yeah, she's searching the different, double meanings, references,
star signs,
locations, different languages, all that stuff. I'm just interested to see her thought process. But yeah, oh my God, what an absolutely top tier, incredible song, piece of poetry. All around, all encompassing of just all the emotion, all the references, all of the relatability behind it, and like we were saying at the beginning of the episode, just an insight into the mind of someone who feels so hurt,
This song has been one of my favorites from the get-go. I do remember all of us just jaw to the floor whenever we listened to it for the very first time, shocked, awake, tired, listening to this song for the first time. And it was my 5th most played song this year.
All right.
Yeah.
The Black Dog.
Good.
Yeah.
Great song, Taylor. Keep it up. All right.
We've got some really great voicemails from our listeners. I love hearing from our listeners. But before we get to that, I want to remind people to join us over in the Lobster Lounge. We've been having so much fun in this new VIP social media where we get to interact with our fans and our friends and just having so much fun talking to people there.
Yeah, this post from Danielle Cornwell says, "Hey, fellow Swifties / Lobsters, my name is Danielle and I'm from Oregon. Any other
Oregonian?
Yes. Swifties in here. I would love to get to know each other more since I need Swiftie friends in real life. My favorite album is Evermore. I've been a day one Tay1 since I heard Tim McGraw on the radio. I'm 31 and a mom to my sweet boy of 17 months. I was lucky enough to finally, literally, attend night 3 of the Eras Tour in Vancouver with those $16 seats.
Lucky.
Dream come true. Absolutely love the 13 podcast and what it has given me. Heart hand emoji, lobster emoji." That's so sweet because I totally relate to this in the I'm also 31 years old. I've also been a day one, Tay1. It's just so cool to connect with people in this kind of way, not just from being Swifties, but also being in the same phase of life. So that's really cool. So you can find fellow Swifties and fellow lobsters like Danielle in the Lobster Lounge. And if you're from Oregon, Go hit her up, and you guys can hang out in real life. That's so cool.
That is so cool. How you can join, it's absolutely free, is station.page/13. That's station.page/13. We're going to have some really cool giveaways coming up very, very soon. But in the meantime, just have fun chatting with other Swifties, because I know that we've been enjoying it. Join us at the Lobster Lounge, station.page/13.
So the Lobster Lounge is not the only way that we get to connect with you. You, the listeners, can also leave us a voicemail. We have a phone number set up. It is in the description of this podcast, and you can leave us a voicemail, and we can hear your beautiful voices from all over the world.
And there's a cool way for us to remember it. Reputation, 689, because 214, which is 214, which Taylor Swift was in Valentine's Day. 1313.
Rolls right off the tongue. It really does.
It does take me a minute to think about it. But yeah. So we have a voicemail from this sweet, sweet listener with a beautiful accent.
Hi, 13 Podcast. I'm Judy from a town called Aylesbury in England. I just wanted to say a massive thank you. I had a baby at the beginning of this year, and you guys have kept me up to date with all the Swiftie news, theories, and clownery. Not sure if you're aware that having a baby kind of takes over your life, and if you're not careful, you can lose out on some of the things that you love, and I love being a Swiftie, so thank you so much. And you kept me company in the very long hours during the night, and so just want to say a massive thank you. Have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye.
Okay.
So sweet.
Is that not the coolest thing ever? As the only parent in the room, I can say those nights do get pretty long. Late night feedings, things like that. You just pop an AirPod in and you listen to a podcast. She was listening to us during those wonderful moments with her baby. And I'm sure she's listening to Taylor Swift. I'm sure she's already started crying to Never Grow Up because she has a new little bundle of joy. And that song really hits once you start having kids. How cool.
I know. That's really precious.
And what an honor to keep you company during those sweet moments, like Nick said. So thank you so much. Congrats on your sweet baby. And I'm obsessed with your beautiful accent. That was just such a beautiful, beautiful voicemail. So love you, and thank you for your support. And thank you for loving Taylor Swift right along with us. We have another voicemail from Molly, who reflects on the end of an era.
Hey, 13 Podcast. My name's Molly. I'm listening to your last Vancouver recap on my walk right now, and I just wanted to say how grateful I am for this whole experience. I'm so grateful for Taylor for bringing me and so many gorgeous people, so much joy these past couple of years. And I wanted to say thank you so much to all the Swiftie creators out there, just for, you guys are our cool Swiftie friends when people didn't understand, the gravity of Taylor wearing a new bodysuit or winking at us during random times in the show. I just hope you guys are doing okay. Hoping with the end of the tour. To be honest, I felt really sad this last week, but I keep reminding myself, like Taylor said, it's the end of an era, but the start of an age. She's not done. It's just the tour. I don't think anything has meant more to me than the Eras tour, but I'll always clown and listen to Evermore an unreasonable amount of times. I just wanted to say thank you so, so much for bringing us Swifties together with your familiar voices and your events. So here's to a great era.
Aww.
That's very sweet. And, something that I've also been thinking about is what she mentioned as because of the Eras Tour, so many Swiftie creators have popped up on social media and people that we're now kind of friends online with.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see so many people that have kind of been amplified on social media because of their love for Taylor. And there's so many fun outlets and people with different takes and opinions and things like that. So that's been a really cool thing to see with the Eras Tour.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, just thinking about the Eras Tour. That was 2 full years, really. I mean, not full years, but essentially 2 years of our lives of connecting with people across the world. That's so, so beautiful.
And does the clowning ever end? Does it ever end? Because we have a listener who left us a voicemail that thinks Taylor Swift ended the tour on a very sus day.
Hey guys, I love you guys so much. Really quick, so when she finished the Eras tour last night, which was the most devastating thing I'd ever experienced, I'm not sure if anybody has picked up on this or not yet, but yesterday, December 8th, was actually known as National Pretend World Traveler Day. I find this very ironic that she finished the Eras tour on that day, considering she went through every single era, including debut. I'm not sure why I thought that was so interesting, especially with her walking through the Karma door very close to midnight. But I love you all so much, and I'm so thankful for you. Bye.
So thankful for you, and so thankful that we still get to clown. The clowning doesn't end. The clowning will never end. But that is an interesting day to end on. I definitely agree with that. And Taylor Swift did what? Was it 59? Show, I can't remember exactly, but she ended on an odd number, which people thought that was
149.
Thank you, 149. Ended on an odd number, and people were like, "Why would that end on that number and not an even 150?" What does that add up to? 9 plus 4. I don't math.
14.
14. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was thinking maybe that was going to be a 13.
That was so close.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you to all of our lovely listeners. We love hearing from you. We love chatting with you in the Lobster Lounge. And we're ready to see what this new year brings.
Yay.
Yay. Well, that does it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. If you haven't already, join us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to us on right now. And all the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast, our website, our email, our phone number, our social medias. It's all there below. And join us next time when we break down I'm Gonna Get You Back.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.